Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine last night. And as you can see here on this map, these are the places where bombings has been reported. So the gold price has gone up, as you can see from this candlestick from today, February 24. So this is the candlestick of gold of today, of February 24. And as you can see over here, the gold price went up 2.65%. So this is February 23 still, years 24. And the moment the Russian invasion began, it was around 3 o'clock. We will see the same thing happens in the Bitcoin charts, but only the other way around in a minute. But here you see at 3 o'clock my time, the chart went up of the gold price. So this chart is the Russian ruble, the Russian currency. And as you can see, it's going down relative to the euro and the dollar. So the higher this line goes, this specific line, the higher it goes, the more rubles they need to get euros or dollars. So it's definitely not going well with the ruble at the moment. So then we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not a safe haven either for this scenario since it's selling off currently. So as you can see over here in this chart, every candlestick represents 1 hour, as you can see here. So here the same thing with the gold price chart at around 3 o'clock here, something happens. So that's the Russian invasion in Ukraine, where the market reacts to. So as you can see over here, the candlestick starts at like 3 o'clock. So there is a sell-off. So if we measure this, so there is a big sell-off of 5%. And it went up a little bit again. So it's now minus 4.43% since 3 o'clock this night. So at a current price of around $35,000, $35,400. And what about stocks? Well, you already know that our stocks are down these past few weeks because of this Ukraine situation and all the other things we got going on in the economy, like inflation and the rise of interest rates and whatever else is going on. So the US markets will open at 3:30 p.m. my time here in the Netherlands. And the US is the most significant portion of my stock portfolio, as you can see on my screen over here, since I hold mostly S&P 500 and the Vanguard All World ETF. So since stocks were already down on every bit of news that Russia came closer to an attack, I expect a new big sell-off later today when the US market opens. And that's what we will see tomorrow in our stock portfolios. So be prepared for some more red numbers these upcoming days as the attack on the Ukraine further elevates. So furthermore, the EU, the UK and the US said Russia could expect severe sanctions if there is an actual invasion. And since Russia now did attack Ukraine, I expect many more sanctions today announced that will probably hurt all of us, including the stock market. This is an article of the Financial Times, and they write that Putin warned other countries against the temptation of meddling in the ongoing events and said Russia's response would lead to consequences that you have never encountered in your history. So that's a very dangerous warning Putin puts out there to other countries. So then another thing Putin is saying that I read online in another article, he says, today's events are not intended to harm the interest of Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. They are about defending the interest of Russia itself against those who have taken Ukraine hostage and try to use it against our country and its people. So it's a bit strange they're saying that it's not about harming Ukrainian people, because I think I already read some articles that there are a few casualties in the Ukrainian citizens. But if I'm correct, Putin also said many times these past few weeks he wouldn't invade Ukraine, and now he still does. So I'm not sure what to believe here. So apparently there are already hundreds of casualties from Russia's first missile strikes. So this is a tweet from already this morning, 5:45 p.m. So let's have a quick look at this video.
We've heard about 18, 19 salvos of cruise missile attacks in just this city, in the capital Kiev, within the past hour or so, since we've been talking to you here on CNN. And those attacks have been focused on, it seems, the air infrastructure here. There may have been other locations targeted as well, but definitely a couple of airports have been targeted. We've seen images of Boris Pil.
Then there is also this video of Kiev where you can hear the air raid alarm going off. So imagine being in that country. It would be so scary if there is an invasion on your country. So earlier this morning, Russia also suspended trading after the invasion triggered a big drop, as shown before in this chart over here, that the ruble, the Russian ruble, fell below the lowest point it has ever been. And here you can see another video from this morning where tanks are rolling into Ukraine from Belarus. So if we take the map first, if we look at the map, so Belarus is like the country next to Russia. It is at the northern border of Ukraine. So apparently these tanks were crossing the border from Belarus to Ukraine. Yeah, look at these tanks. So I'm curious to see what exact sanctions the EU and the US will come up with. Let's now have a look at my current portfolio. So as you can see, I'm now 181 euros invested. I have a total profit of close to 16,000 euros. I think this total profit, like a couple of months ago, it was close to 40,000 euros. So it has definitely gone down quite a bit. So as you can see over here, my Vanguard S&P 500 is still the largest allocation in this portfolio. So I have 103,000 euros in total value of the S&P 500 ETF, the Vanguard S&P 500. So I have close to 1,500 shares of this S&P 500 ETF. So this one is still 20% in the plus, so 17,000 euros in the plus. But then there is the All World ETF, where I also have close to 72,000 euros of total value. So my average purchase price of this one is 102 euros per stock, per share, but the current price is 97 euros. So I'm on minus 4%, so minus 3,200 euros. I also have a little bit of the emerging markets, and this one is in the red as well, close to 6% in the red. A total profit of close to 16,000, but that's mostly because of the S&P 500 shares I bought. I think, let's have a look at my transactions over here. So if we go back to the S&P 500, so most of the S&P 500 shares, I stopped buying the S&P 500 shares I think it's April of 2021. So last year, the beginning of last year, I stopped buying the S&P 500 because I wanted to diversify a little bit more. I started buying the All World ETF, as you can see. So that's the reason why I'm still in the plus of the S&P 500 and not in the All World ETF, because I only started buying the All World ETF from May 2021. So then I also have another account, which is my retirement account, where I only have the All World ETF. And I started this account recently, I think in November it was, November last year. So if we do a quick search on my transaction, I only bought one time here, as you can see, 110 shares. I bought at the peak, I bought 110 shares of a price of 104 euros. I'm currently down 10% on this account, which is 1,100, close to 1,200 euros. And today alone, 2.7%, with a total value of 283 euros in total. We're down today. It definitely doesn't look good. So the future, the upcoming days, the upcoming weeks, the upcoming months, maybe doesn't look that bright. But anyhow, my idea is to hold this for decades to come. And I think that's the most important thing to remember if you have a similar strategy to mine, like dollar cost averaging your way in the market. For instance, I can't even access the money in my retirement account for at least 40 more years. And that's a very, very long time. So I do plan to use the money I have in my regular brokerage accounts at an earlier moment than 40 years ahead, but let's say 20 years or so. That means we still have a very long way ahead of us. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you want to say hello or ask me a question. And also, in the upcoming days, I will upload some more videos regarding how much money I earned this last month. And I'll share an update on my financial independence progress. And that doesn't look too bright since everything is down. But for now, I wish the Ukrainian people all the best today and in these upcoming days. I can't imagine what they are going through right now when there is a full-blown military invasion of Russia in your country.